Welcome to the Eye on the Twin State Valley. I'm Halford E. Jones, and today with me is Violetta McClellan, who after 37 years of residing in the United States has finally become recently a U.S. citizen. We're going to talk about immigration, becoming a U.S. citizen, and bicultural marriages. Violetta, where did you come from?
Philippines.
The Philippines. Did you come from Leyte?
Yes.
Now, Leyte is famous. One, because General Douglas MacArthur returned there.
He's landed there.
In World War II.
Yeah.
And he landed in Leyte after he said, "I shall return," and that was his return voyage. And what's the other reason Leyte is famous?
I cannot.
Well, recently, it was the super typhoon Haiyan, or Typhoon Yolanda, devastated Leyte, and it hit the town of Tacloban and devastated that. And they're still recovering. And it's been a massive aid situation there. People from all over the world, groups, and charities, and everything have been sending lots of relief goods and help and people there to assist to the victims of the typhoon. Now, where in Leyte were you born?
In Sugod, Southern Leyte.
Southern Leyte. Mm-hmm. Now, Leyte is one of the Visayan Islands, which comprises the three regions in the Philippines. The top region is Luzon, of course, where Manila is located.
Yeah.
Then there are the Visayan Islands, where your land of Leyte is located. And then there's the third region, Mindanao. Mm-hmm. Now, what was life like when you were growing up in Leyte?
Well, we have no transportation. We have to walk going to school, miles of miles.
Weather conditions were bad there sometimes?
Yeah, but you have to walk anyway because you have no transportation. You're going to school, if they will rain, you
So
will...
you were in a rural area?
Yeah,
I see. And what time did you graduate from high school?
Oh, I go to school in Sugod. I didn't graduate in the third year, 11th grade, but I have to come to Manila to finish. No, I go to school in Sugod in high school, but when I come to Manila, I continue in there and then come back again to continue in Sugod, but I still never finish it. But when I come up here to get married, I finished my high school in United States where
with a general education degree?
Stephen High School.
Oh, high school.
I graduate in there.
I see. Well, let's continue with discussing your childhood in Leyte. What age were you, or were you working in Leyte, and what age did you decide you wanted to come to the United States?
Well, my parents, I am very, very...
Well, are your parents alive now?
No, my parents is still alive before I came to Manila.
I see.
But I want to graduate in high school and have my own job without depending my parents, because my parents is cannot afford to pay in high school. So I came to Manila and registered in Asusina School of Fashion and go to school to continue my high school.
Now, how many brothers and sisters did you have, or do you have?
I have one brother and 3 sisters.
I see. And they're still in Leyte or in the Philippines?
My brother is in Leyte. He have a shop business, My sister she just barely come to Manila to my sister to live with. She's married and with kids. And my sister is married with working in a telephone.
Telephone center or
Yeah, telephone
office?
center, and she's a supervisor. That is his job. He retired in there. And now they are there, all of them. But besides, my brother is in Leyte because he have a business back and forth to Manila.
Okay. Now, you came here 37 years ago, and you haven't been back to the Philippines since then.
No.
Okay. What did you have to do to leave the Philippines and come to the United States?
Well, I have a cousin. She worked as a nautical in the ship, and he said to me that, Violeta, you would like to have a pen pal. I said, no, because I cannot speak too much English. I said, who cares? He said, you just fill up this application, send it, we send it to the address international, and send your picture, and wait if someone who will write you a letter. Now,
So
you have to
waited.
correspond it.
Now, back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, there was a lot of talk, a lot of newspaper articles, magazine articles about mail-order brides. Of course, mail-order brides and picture brides were common since this country began. However, you are married now, and is that how you met your husband?
Yes. I have maybe 20 pen pal. One of them is my husband. We wrote for 5 years, and it seems to me, I asked to my sister and my brother-in-law if this is a man that is a nice man and is not a fraud. But because my husband supported me going to school, she paid for school, she paid for my family, the tuition. I support my sister and brother with my husband's money.
I see.
So that is
But that's before you were married or after?
Before.
I see. So actually, you had to establish a period of being engaged to
Yeah.
your present husband.
Yeah.
And isn't that one of the rules in order to come here to the United States?
Yes.
You have to show. Now, did you have to take those letters to the American Embassy
I
in
have
Manila?
that high.
You had to take them in. And how long
No,
did it
I cannot take in the embassy because I lost it.
No, I mean you took them to the embassy there. You had to have proof to show the
Oh, yeah,
embassy.
yeah, in
That's
the
what I'm
embassy in
talking
the
about.
Philippines.
Yes, that's what
Not
I'm
in
talking about.
Okay, sorry.
So it's not an easy matter. You have to have some physical proof.
Yeah.
And how long did they study those letters, and did they investigate and check out all of this before you got
Yeah, they
a
have
visa to come?
They have to spread up and count it, not to radio all of them. They just want to know if it is true that I have a corresponding.
If this is legitimate and you weren't
Yeah.
just trying to
Fraud.
get in the United
Yes.
States without any legitimate reason or any real
Yeah.
connection. So how long did it take you from the time that you applied for a visa to actually get one?
It takes me maybe 5 years.
5
Because
years.
I start working with my paperwork when we maybe a year, and then because she want me to come up here, and it's hard also the process here in the United States. The American embassy also want to have a proof that I am legitimate and I am not.
Yes, you had to show documents that you were
Yes, I
born
have
where you said you
everything.
were, and that you were actually that person. Now, you had to pass medical exams, did you not?
I passed the medical exam. I have nothing. I have an X-ray. When you come up here, they'll give you a big, the whole your body. They have to screen it if you have disease or TB or anything. All those diseases, you cannot enter United States if you have that.
That's right. And there are other stipulations as well, or at least there used to be, that you had to have a good moral character to enter the United States.
I have to go to FBI, NBI investigation.
Yeah, that's the National Bureau of Investigation.
I have to go in there. I have to have a picture. I have to have a
your
fingerprint, and you have to wait. If they will, after the investigation, if I have no record to come up here, now they will issue me release.
Yes, and you also have to give them a record of your financial transactions. And you also have to let them know your reasons for going there. And then after they get the information, they give you another very stringent interview, don't they, in the embassy? They ask you other questions?
But because I have a friend work in the embassy in the Philippines, that he worked in the office.
And she expedited your papers?
Yes, they just, because they knows me. She's my customer.
Now, what was the ruling when you received your visa? What did they call it, a fiancé visa?
Fiancé visa, because petition to get married, it has to be fiancé visa.
Okay, and what is the time limit on that? I mean, how long do you, once you get to the United States?
There's no time limit. Once you get your fiancé visa, there's no time limit.
It doesn't expire?
It's not that they will not expire, but there is no there is no limit that you come up here, up there you have a fiancé visa.
Perhaps, but when you get to the United States, there is a limitation. You have to use that before, or they'll ship you back.
Yes, when I come up here, I have only 90 days.
Yeah, and you have to marry the person you stipulated.
After 90 days.
You can't marry another person.
No.
You see, people don't understand that sometimes.
After 90 days, you got to get married where your fiancé's signature. And if you will not get married in 90 days, you will be deported.
And you have to send documents, copies of your wedding certificate, and everything
before
like
you
that.
can get your green card.
Yeah, okay. So, and how long is your green card for? Is that permanent?
Permanent residence.
I see.
But because I've been here long enough, they changed the law.
I see.
You got to review. You got to call the immigration when you're at this moment. There is the laws changed. Supposed to be permanent resident, and you can stay for whole life without, But when I have my interview in Senator Leahy's office, Susan, she said, Violeta, the law changed. You got to either you become American citizen, or you got to renew your citizenship. And I cannot do that because it's just confusing. So the advice with me, with an attorney for immigration, they told me, Violeta, it's easiest for you to become American citizen and get your passport with no problem as an American citizen. But if you will not, you will be hard time to get it, because the law in the Philippines and the law in the United States has been changed since you've been here.
Yes, but it's also changed since then as well in other ways, but we won't discuss that.
Okay.
Now, there was an article recently in the Valley News on cross-cultural marriage in the Upper Valley. And the lady who wrote this article is married to a person from abroad, and they're here. And according to the article, there are a number of what they call cross-cultural or bicultural marriages, which means that either someone from abroad is married to an American citizen, or an American citizen is married to somebody from abroad, and they're residing here in the States. And this is seems to be increasing now. We see more people, and whereas before the Philippines perhaps had a high level of marriages between U.S. citizens and Philippine citizens due to military activities and alliances and travel and so forth. Other countries now, like China, India, Singapore, Vietnam, and even European countries, Romania, Czechoslovakia, Russia, many brides are coming here to marrying Americans, and many Americans are marrying people from those countries. So every marriage like that has certain problems. So when you came here, and you and your husband's name is Wayne, is that correct?
Correct.
And you have two children.
Correct.
A boy and a girl.
Boy and a girl.
And what are their names?
My oldest is Junior, Wayne Morris McClellan Jr. The Morris is my father's name. Of course, Wayne is my husband's name. That's right. My oldest. My young young kid, Flora, that is my mother's name. And Marie is my niece's name. So I get.
So you combined these names, yes, and gave them to your daughter.
Yeah.
And your daughter, I understand, is studying now? Or?
Oh, my daughter is graduate with 2 degrees this year, have an honor, sociology and business.
I see. And she's married, is she?
She's married with 2 girls. I have 2 granddaughters.
And what does her husband do?
Her husband works in a government as in the defense department.
I see. And where are they living now? Are they here?
In Milford, New Hampshire.
I see. Now, when you came here for the very first time to Claremont, New Hampshire, what time of year was it? Was it winter, summer?
Winter with storm. I'm almost crashed my airplane from Lebanon, tip over like that because the blizzard 1979 hit my small airplane, and I think to myself that, please God, I pray, let me see my fiancé, my husband to be before I will die, because
this is 1979.
Yeah, they hit the blizzard hit the airplane, a small airplane.
Now, how did you adjust to the cold weather here in New England?
I have hard time of adjusting. I keep always go to the hospital because I cannot handle the cold. Every year I'm emergency.
So you got married, and is that what prompted you and your husband to go to California from Claremont? When did you go to? I
go to California because I have a friend in military, and she said to me that she also have 1 kid, and I met him in a ship when I came to Manila, and we changed later and called upon. And she said, if you would like to come up to California, because he lives in California, because her husband is the military also, live in the base is there in California, we can stay together. So that one also reason that I came up.
So how long were you in California?
It's only 1 year because
1 year.
My mother-in-law is very ill. We think that she will die, and
so was your son born during that time, or when was
my husband? My oldest son is born also 1980.
Was he born in New Hampshire or in California?
In New Hampshire.
In New Hampshire,
yes.
I see. So, and your daughter Flora Where is
She
she?
born also in New Hampshire.
In New Hampshire. So they're New Englanders.
Yes.
I see. And so when you came back to New Hampshire, did you do any work? I understand you were working somewhere in Clinton.
I work in Solomon County Nursing Home for almost 20 years.
How many years?
Almost 20, we will say 19 years. They hire me as a seamstress because I am a professional seamstress as I graduated in
You took that trade in
the Philippines.
In the Philippines.
Because you cannot come into United States if you don't know nothing. You got to have something that to prove to the government that if I will stay in United States, I can find a job right away, just in case if there is something wrong.
So you won't be a burden to the United
Yes,
States
that's
government.
what the reason is. That's why they
that's right.
they accept me.
This is all now legal immigration, not illegal immigration, because legal immigrants have to have certain things, certain criteria fulfilled in order to be here and eventually become citizens. So you were here 37 years at that. Now, you lived quite a number of years in Claremont, New Hampshire, and you joined St. Joseph's Church, I believe, on Elm Street in Claremont. Father Stan was the pastor there, and now he's retired. But you're still going to St. Joseph's, even though you've since moved to Vermont.
Yes.
And where are you living in Vermont?
I live in towns of Wethersfield, Windsor County, but Ascutney.
Ascutney, yeah. I used to know that as Ascutneyville. Back when I was a kid, we always went to Ascutney or Ascutneyville.
Yeah.
So, how many years have you been in Vermont now?
Going to 13 years.
13 years, okay. And you had your own business as a seamstress in Claremont and in Ascutney, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I have a business in Washington Street, a shop, a sewing business.
You still have that?
I cannot do it now because I have no place, but and also it will impacted my government benefits.
I see. So, in other words, you've temporarily given up sewing and seamstress work, but on occasion you have done things for people, and they come to your house or something, call you up for that.
Yeah.
And so, I want to ask you, what is the basic difference between living in Vermont and living in New Hampshire? Is the lifestyle in Vermont different from the lifestyle across the river in Claremont? Or is the atmosphere better? Are things better living in Vermont? Are there more programs in Vermont or more in New Hampshire? What benefit do you derive from living in Vermont right now?
Between New Hampshire and Vermont, there are a lot of benefits, but you got to get into it. You got to get all the information, what you need in your life to survive, or I can get the benefits in New Hampshire with no problem.
Nice.
New Hampshire, for me, things go into the right direction. Vermont seems to me their rules and policy and regulation is very big different from New Hampshire. The New Hampshire is give as long as there is a
need
and a real situation, you got to be legal. in order that New Hampshire will give you everything I think you need. That's why I love.
Well, they don't actually give you everything.
No, no,
You
no.
apply for that.
I understand, but it has to be legally. You have to be you have to have a proof that you need this one and you need that one.
I see.
In Vermont, it's different because the benefits or financially is not too much money as I look at it, and sometimes you need to go higher to look like I have to talk to Leyte, I have to talk to Leyte, I have to talk to senator, I have to talk to the president, I have to write a letter to the president in order all my problem will be solved. Because President Obama really helped me with my husband's disability.
I see.
But
now, your husband has a disability?
Yeah, and President Obama really is, I helped him also to become a president. Yes. And I did not bring here his picture. And in his presidency, I emailed back and forth between senators, congressman, Obama, President Obama, and
now Senator Patrick Leahy helped you in obtaining your.
Yes.
Is this a letter you have from?
Yeah.
May I see that, please? And he's congratulating you, and he's also thanking you for contacting him about your citizenship.
Yes, because this is his assistant work in his office that.
I see. And you have another. This is where you took your.
That is the. This is where I took my citizenship, and this is the judge.
Yeah, you had to take an oath of citizenship.
Yes, I have all this one here also that I take an oath, and I don't know where now.
This is your United States certificate here.
Yeah, that is my immigration.
Yeah.
Immigration.
Well, that's good.
Citizenship.
Now, you were telling me that you're doing some work for the Windsor Historical Society. Are you still doing that?
I am right now training in an administration work. I work in the town of Windsor County, work with all the paperwork, you name it. You know, if you work in the town, you have is a non-profit organization. Of course, the whole county is involved, and I have to do all the names in the data type on it, and it's an administration job because I apply for administration job.
Now, you also said that you sympathize with people who from other countries, whether they're from the Philippines or where they're from, who wish to become U.S. citizens, but some of them may not know, or even if they are applying to become citizens, they need guidance in filling out applications and doing these things, and that you would like to become, I think, an advocate.
Advocate.
Yes, and how far have you pursued that goal already?
I'm approved with Senator Snelling. She said to me that I will sit down to the committee and watch first to the law change. And I requested for her that I would like to be an American advocate to the all foreigner who have a hard time of getting their American citizenship. And she said, yes, Violeta, that is a very good plan. I said, because I look at myself, I've been here long enough and I have a hard time, so I cannot see if someone who will be have a hard time of getting their citizenship, so I would like to help. But she asked me, either if I want to volunteer or to be employment, I said I want to work both, volunteer, and I will work, and I also have an employment because it will help my income because I live with retirement.
Yeah, so in other words, you want to be productive.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't want to be just receiving benefits and just sitting back. You want to be contributing to
the
society
government.
and to people.
Yeah.
Now, I noticed that you have this invention here. Would you tell me about that, how that started?
Okay. The invention is, it's not my idea, but I have a hard time when I first married because I have nobody here. I'm alone. I have no relatives.
Well, you had your husband.
I understand, but in other side, my other side, besides my husband. So in my mind, I get all the idea to support my family. And I got my business little, and it's not enough, even I have a job, it's not enough to support still. And then I open a shop in Claremont. It's not in Washington Street, but in other place, in flea market.
Nice.
And I see in the booth, besides my booth, because I rent only both, very small one. In my side, one person bring a plastic with a color on it, with the design, it look like a mountain design, a rock design, and seems to me it's not attractive. I don't think if I'm just thinking that one. If I can design, because I am a seamstress and I am designer, if I design those and put in an aquarium and put a mirror on it, reflect, and it will be marketable. But it's not that I am designed to be, because I don't know about patent. But when I made already, my husband think, because he's an American, he said, Violeta, you are making a product that nobody make here in the United States. I said, I don't know, I just want to sell, I said.
So what did you do then when you found out?
I have a friend that knows about Washington, D.C. office patent, because I cannot sell the product that is new.
And this is the product over here.
Yeah, that is the one.
Yes. And can we take a look at that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And she said to me,
can you turn that around so we can see it a little bit? Okay,
oh,
that's good. And so this is your design and your invention.
Yeah.
Now, you went and applied for a patent. And when did you apply for this patent?
I don't know about patent before, but I have a friend that I helped her in his wedding. He said, I made a bouquet for his wedding. He said, Violeta, you know about how to make a patent? I said, no, I don't know, because I am from other country. I don't know nothing about it. She said, I will help you. She gave me the address and attorney. She gave me an address in Washington, D.C. And I got the attorney in Lowell, Mass. And he said to me that, Violeta, call this number, make an appointment, and bring your idea how to make a patent on it, or how to file an application so that you have a patent.
So you had to fill out applications to,
yeah,
you had to submit designs and information.
Involved with engineer.
I see. And then you had to wait a while, and you had to have other papers filed, and they had to do a background study of the of
Yeah.
various patents
Yeah.
on the same type of, or the same area perhaps.
Yeah.
And then eventually you began this according, the date of the patent, I guess when it was issued was in 1992,
Right.
June 23rd.
Right.
And you have a patent number for this. I noticed there's a description of your invention and there's some designs and everything
Yeah.
on it. And is this essentially, the design, everything is copied or drawn
Yeah,
from
they have
this
to.
actual model?
Yeah, they have to, because they have to study in DC office if this is really exactly I did also, and they have to take the engineer have to take a picture taken with that, and they
And
are the one.
this is signed and sealed here. I was trying to figure out, this must be the date of it, 1992 it was issued, is that
Yeah,
correct?
yeah,
I see. And so you had to do a lot of paperwork. You had
Yeah,
to
a lot.
consult with your attorney. You had to deal with the patent office, the government, and
Yeah.
everything. So in a way, your invention, the process that you went through to get this patent and to have this made, is sort of like the process you went through to become a
American
U.S. citizen.
Yes.
You have to have a step-by-step. You just couldn't
yeah.
begin.
No, you got
this
to fill out
without,
every
protecting it.
application.
Because if you infringed on somebody else's design and somebody else's constructions and everything, you would be doing things illegally. They could sue you or question it or take it to court, things
Yeah.
like that. So all in all, this idea of your being an advocate for people who wish to become U.S. citizens and are not yet there, or having problems, or just beginning and they need someone to kind of counsel them or give them some ideas or take them through the process, seems to be something that you're well suited to do. And so anyway, how about your daughter and your son and your husband? Are they supporting you in this role that you want to take?
Very much. Everything I ask, in order me to have all this, they have to be in my side all the time, because they have to. I cannot do alone all this accomplishment that I did. Plus, I have to go to college and get my business.
You're studying things now?
Yeah, I'm studying to get my associate degree and master in business. Bachelor, I want to get my bachelor degree in business. And
well, you have to get, you're going to get an associate or a bachelor's first?
Yes, I got to have my associate first. I am on 34 credits right now, and I'm finishing almost. I'm in halfway. I could always graduate because it takes only 24 credits and the associate degree, but I'm trying to continue to get my bachelor.
Yeah, and after you get your bachelor's, then you're still have your goals set higher for a possible master's degree.
Yeah.
I see. And you want to get it in business or in social work, or?
This is the situation that I am having a problem. I need a corporation to be set up because I have the business plan is ready.
Oh, you already have made your business plan.
This one is completed. If someone who will buy my product.
What is this?
This is my registration to be legal in you got to go to the Secretary of State to get your
That's here in Vermont.
Yes.
Okay, this is for your aquarium.
That is for invention. You have to be legal.
And you registered with the office there, and the Secretary of State in
Yeah.
Vermont. I see. So that means that nobody else can manufacture that, I guess, in Vermont. Is that true?
Without my permission.
Without your permission.
But if there's someone who will come to me and they say, Violeta, I will manufacture your product and will give you the royalty, I will sign a contract,
I see.
an agreement, and I can receive a royalty. And I can also sell my rights. I can
sell
give
that.
my patent to them and give me the number, because I have another 2 design invention to make. Because when you have an invention, you got to go to college, go to workshop, so that you can have, this is the original, there.
Yeah, this
That-
one. That's the original one.
No, this is the original business that I go to college for, just this one.
I see.
That is, there is a, that is,
You have a business plan.
yeah,
Okay.
and you have to have that one when you have an invention. You got to go to workshop, and it's
And this is notarized at the...
yeah, it's notarized in Sullivan County Nursing Home.
I see, okay.
You got to have that.
Now, getting back a bit to the aspect of bicultural or cross-cultural marriages, what problems did you have here in the U.S. as far as understanding what people do here about, not necessarily in terms of work, but in everyday things like in shopping, about food, about religion, about these things, as compared to what you experienced when you were growing up in the Philippines?
When I'm growing in the Philippines, is I am a farmer, and I don't need to worry about those things, groceries and everything, because season we continue, the farm is continue. Of course, in the Philippines there's no snow, so we continue our product. After the product grows, we harvest.
What products did you have? Did you have
We have
coconuts?
coconut.
Rice?
The biggest that we owe is a coconut plantation. So we harvest that maybe every 5 months, and we sell. We have bananas, potatoes, sweet potatoes, rice, corn, peanuts, all those in the grocery we have.
You
So-
did not grow sugar. You didn't. You're not.
Yeah, we
like-
got sugar cane.
But you are not a major.
We are
sugar
not a
producer.
major sugar cane, but we have that in our farm. And I'm a farmer, so I'm not worried about grocery, because
I see. Well, anyway, you encountered the differences in that respect, but how about people here? Did you have difficulty in communicating to people, getting them to understand what you were doing or talking about?
yes, I have, because being English is my second language. At that time, I have no education, and I have a hard time of communicating. That's one reason I go to college and master in English. I passed my English is my second language, a high grades enough, because I want to learn more so that I can communicate easily
So
to the
you were
people.
determined to learn English.
Yeah, I
so
master
that you could
already.
Communicate better than what you were previously.
I'm still going.
Now, your national language, you Tagalog or Filipino, you learned that also, but you also had a local language, if I'm not mistaken,
Yes.
in Leyte. What was
Wait,
that?
I have Bisaya, Waray. There is another one, but I forgot now because it's been a long time. But if someone who will speak to me the language that I learned from Leyte, I can understand, but I cannot.
You cannot speak it
No.
as well because you haven't been speaking it for at least 37 years.
Yes.
Right. So, what else did you discover about life in Claremont and in Windsor and Vermont? Are there any similarities to the life that you had in the Philippines, or
Yeah.
are they completely different?
Completely different.
Completely different, yes. And
Yeah.
you've adjusted remarkably well Have you ever had any urge to return to the Philippines for a visit?
That's why I got my citizenship, so that easy for me to get a passport from United States. Right now, I'm waiting money because as I know, going back to the Philippines is very expensive. I'm not worried now with my paperwork. I'm worried how to save money to come up because
Yes.
it's really very, very expensive.
Well, basically, the economy of the Philippines is based on the U.S. dollar, and so a lot of the prices you're paying here in terms of dollars, you'll be paying there in terms of pesos, which would be the equivalent amount. In other words, if you go to buy a $6 hamburger at McDonald's here, when you go to the Philippines and you go to McDonald's there, you'll be paying the equivalent of $6 or more in pesos, in the national currency there.
Yeah.
So that's something that when you go back, you'll have to check out and see what happens. And then when you come back from that trip, then maybe we can have another talk here sometime about your trip and what you experienced and the differences and all the things you observed there. Well, I want to thank you for being here today. And is there anything else you'd like people in Vermont and New Hampshire and in the Twin State Valley to know?
Well, if those people that listen or knows about my ability, how to help them, if they are interested, if they are interested to become American citizen, I can guide them where to go in the right direction.
I see. Okay. So, and you intend to do that basically working for the state government? Or?
Yeah. I just have to see first Senator Snelling.
I see. Well, I want to thank you again, and I wish you luck. And,
Thank you. Thank you
care.
very much.
Bye.